my Anthropology Black Cherry Tonka candle going. There are 4 settings. I like setting number 3. I have hard liquor. I did Juilliard January 8th, and I did Yale David Geffen School yesterday on the 20th. It's difficult to view these auditions as anything other than a competition in obnoxiousness. To be clear, I auditioned for David Geffen before it was David Geffen. I auditioned for Yale when I was 22 as a senior at Columbia. And I didn't advance. I didn't get a single callback, just as it was this time. And I'm frustrated that they don't give you any feedback. You go to these auditions. This includes Juilliard, which was also bullshit. It was a bombastic nightmare, or a flaccid one, even. You go to these auditions, you show up, and they say, just be you. And celebrate yourself no matter what the outcome. You worked hard to get here. It doesn't matter what the panel says. You won't stop acting regardless of the decision. What they fail to mention is, what is it they're looking for? I would like to know what they're looking for. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paid over $100 in an application fee. I wouldn't have badgered 3 people who I haven't stayed in good contact with for letters of reference. I would not write all of these essays exposing and exploiting myself and my emotional bank. I would not travel hundreds, if not thousands of miles, spending more money on transportation if I didn't want to succeed. If I didn't want to know what it is they're looking for. But they don't tell you what they're looking for. And I say this as an ethnic minority. Sure, I'm half white, but like, you're not even human unless you're white or black in America. I guess I should have known this. I should have done my research. When I discovered that the dean of the acting program at Yale was a black woman, I became very cynical. I found this out on the day, and I thought, okay, she's either going to be looking for black people or really loud, inflammatory white people. The kind of white person who stomps their feet and yells bloody murder and isn't afraid to use the N-word in a monologue. My cynical side just thought, upon viewing this Whoopi Goldberg-looking woman, this woman looked like Whoopi Goldberg. She had the Whoopi Goldberg eyes, like the glimmer in the eye, the Whoopi Goldberg smile, that mischievous smile. They have very similar faces. She could give 2 shits about an Asian, 6'1", queer, trans, over the hill in these admissions proceedings. And I was right. The only people who got called back were black or the white person who yelled at the top of his lungs in his audition. I could hear him from outside, and the dean took a long time deliberating after his audition, which usually means that person is going to advance. If they aren't going to tell you what they're looking for, and if they don't give you adjustments in your monologues, and they don't ask to hear a 3rd one, and they just don't say anything except thank you, then they don't care about you. I just feel very lost and frustrated, and I feel like I don't have any guidance, and no one cares to give me any guidance because I am irrelevant. I'm not white, I'm not black, I'm not a British black person, because those people are hot commodities nowadays. People really want unattractive black British women a la Cynthia Erivo at their colleges. I think that's very fashionable at Juilliard. I think it's very fashionable at Yale. And I'm making these observations without any intention of prejudice. And if you jump down my throat and say that I'm being prejudiced, you're probably either fully white or black, and you have absolutely no perspective on what it feels like to live as basically an invisible person in America. Nobody gives a shit about you. No one is going to tell you how to achieve your dreams. No one is going to tell you they think your dreams are stupid. No one is going to tell you that they think you should just lay down in the street and die, when that is in fact how they feel about you. They could not care less about you. I'm very aware of how Black people view me. And the way Black people view me is most often with indifference or resentment, maybe sometimes jealousy. And I don't have anything against Black people for being Black. I have something against anyone who is going to be rude to me or dismissive of me because I'm not white and therefore they cannot fear me or respect me in their estimation, or because I'm not Black. And in America, if you are not white or Black, you are not part of the narrative. I think it is easier if you are cis het and traditionally masculine or feminine presenting as your assigned at birth gender. I'm just viewed as a sperm receptacle by married, middle-aged white men. And who knows, maybe Black men feel the same way about me, but Black women don't like me at all. Black women would really love to just make loud noises around me and make me uncomfortable, bump into me, not give me personal space. White women don't like me, but I think that they treat me with a little more discretion than Black women do. And these are just my lifelong observations. I do not belong in this country, and I am not valued in this country. And I don't know if I were fluent in Korean, if I would be valued in Korea. I am told that I look like a Korean movie star, but hey, if I actually spoke Korean and I could hear what they're saying about me behind my back, who knows? Who knows what their opinion of me would be? I just don't feel like I belong where I'm from. And that's a very frustrating narrative that people have constructed of America. That it's just the struggle, the tug of war between two races, Black and white, for mutual respect and working together and conquering the world. Which I do think is delusional, but if that delusion is shared by the majority of this country's inhabitants, it's powerful. That being said, when I went to my Juilliard audition, I did see Asian people. When I went to my Yale audition, it was in Atlanta, I didn't see any Asian people. I saw a lot of Black people dreaming to share their important Black experiences. Yes, I sound so cynical. I feel it. I wouldn't be saying these things if I hadn't been mistreated, disrespected, and overlooked, patronized by Black people. And you know what? My assessment of your personality is how you decide to treat me. I don't care how you feel about yourself, if you think you're a good person. If you do not treat me with respect, you have a shitty personality in my reality. And yes, there are Black people who treat me very nicely. But most of the time, it's in spite of the fact that they are Black. Why in God's name should I be careful about what I say, how I say it, if it's a lose-lose situation? What are you gonna do? Put me in chains? Maybe you'll just continue creating a lot of noise pollution. If you are in a position of power and you are not going to give me a chance, I do not need to tiptoe around you. And that was my biggest regret in this round of auditions, was not doing a Bunifa Latifah Khalifa Sharifa Jackson voice for my Antigonus in The Winter's Tale by Shakespeare when Hermione speaks through Antigonus. I don't understand why I didn't just say, "Good Antigonus, since fate against thy better disposition hath made thy person for the throw out of my poor babe according to thine oath, places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying, and for the babe is counted lost forever. Perdita, I pray thee call it. For this ungentle business put on thee by my lord, thou ne'er shalt see thy wife Polina more." I could have just rattled it off, like, top of the lungs, thrown her back in her seat, like that white guy who went 2 people before me, and maybe I would have gotten a callback if I really thought I had nothing to lose, and I just did a racist Bunifi Leafy voice in front of the black dean of the acting program at David Geffen motherfucking Yale stupid up your ass acting school drama shit brains, then hey, maybe she would have looked at me twice. Because she certainly did not. I have 2 more auditions. I'm halfway done. And maybe I should just throw caution to the wind and be really fucking ratchet, janky ass and just get their attention and really participate in this competition of obnoxiousness if I want to win. Because if they're not going to tell me the rules, I'm going to play dirty. How about that? How about that? That barely burns. This, however, sherry, fuck it. I'm an alcoholic. And I'm really tired of being told that I need to educate myself and I need to mind my privilege. I don't have fucking privilege. I'm freaking invisible. I'm more invisible than a Mexican person. What gives? What's up? What it is? What it is, ho? I want to know.